Hey everybody, it's the big question and answer video. I know some of you have been waiting for it, a little bit past 2000 now. First and foremost though, I want to say a big thank you to all of you for coming along on this journey. We're trying to figure out exactly what is happening. We're trying to figure out truth, be honest through the whole process. And I know some people don't like that honesty. Some people might think I'm faking things. I'm not sure. But I don't make anything up. I don't fake anything. And that seems to resonate with some of you anyway. So, to everyone who has subscribed and watches and comments, I thank you so very, very much. Now it's time to answer your questions that you have for me. And I'll start with one of the very, very common questions that I get. I won't even turn on my phone yet because I've got all your questions in my phone. But one of the common questions that I get is, are you ever afraid doing these investigations? And the answer is no. I find this kind of video actually a lot more scary to me. I'm not very good at this kind of thing. The investigating, being in abandoned locations alone at night doesn't bother me in the least. I actually enjoy doing it. And I enjoy trying to make communications and see what is going on. I don't think every haunting is a negative. I don't think I've come across anything overly negative yet. Everybody's entitled to a bad day. So if somebody's having an off day, maybe that came across in the evidence that I got. But even the living have bad days. Why should we expect anything less from a spirit if they are people? And we'll probably get into that in some of the questions that you all have left for me. So, without further ado, with a thank you, and let's get started here. I'm going to go into the questions, and I'll try as best as I can to do them in the order that they came in. It may be out of order. And I will say right now, if I miss anybody, I'm sorry. I thought I screenshotted every single question that came in. If I missed you, let me know. I will answer you in a future video, in a short something, because I want to make sure that everybody gets their question answered. So I'm not deliberately avoiding your question. If that's what you're worried about, I legitimately want to answer every single question that you all left for me to the best of my ability. So, with that said, I think one of the first ones I got is, when did you get into the paranormal, and what was your first experience with a ghost face to face, if at all? So, let's start with the paranormal first. I became interested in the paranormal after the very first Ghostbusters movie. I would go to elementary school, dating myself a bit, but it came out when I was in elementary school. I would go to school and they would say, what do you want to be when you grow up? I would say, I want to be a parapsychologist, just like the guys in Ghostbusters. That's what I wanted to do. You grow up a little bit, you put that on the shelf, but I was always watching the TV shows, your Taps, your Ghost Hunters, all that kind of stuff. Never thought I would get into it myself until 2 years ago, when I just decided to try it. And so far, it's been fantastic. I'm really enjoying it. I think I've got some decent evidence. I don't think I've got anything phenomenal yet, but I can say that based on what little I have gotten, it makes me question some of the things that you see in other videos and on TV. I'd like to go to some of these places and experience it for myself. I don't know if it's me personally that causes things not to happen, or if it's being made up. I don't know. Again, I refuse to cast judgment because maybe it's me. So that's that. Now, as for meeting a ghost face to face, I don't think I have. I've had experiences. I had an experience once where I was in my kitchen doing dishes, and wife was in the living room watching TV or on the computer or one or the other, but in a different room. And from down the hall where our kids' room was, a ball came bouncing down the hall. That's probably the single craziest thing I have ever had happen. I haven't actually seen any apparitions. I've captured evidence of voices and things like that. But in terms of direct experiences to me, the ball, bar none, craziest thing. Anyway, that's it. And that was from WoogieMan007. He's a frequent commenter. So, WoogieMan, I appreciate your support. I appreciate your question. Let's move on to the next. And we have here from Evermore Media now, who is my friend Evans. He said, have you ever done an investigation that really got you scared? If so, which one and why? For me, no, I don't get scared during an investigation. I have yet to get scared during an investigation. I'm just naturally overly curious. I walk around, I find an open door, I have to know what's on the other side. I'm going through it if it's open. I'm just a naturally curious person, probably to a fault, but that means I don't get scared when I'm doing these investigations. I really just want to know what's going on. Have you seen what you believe to be a spirit? That's another one from WoogieMan007, and no, I have not, unfortunately. But I do keep trying, because that would be fantastic. I've captured what I think is the sound of a spirit, but that's that. From Jessica Paul. This is an interesting question. When you go on investigations, do you like to do them solo or with someone? So I'll answer that first. For me, if I'm by myself, I can investigate differently than if I am with someone. And I'll explain that. And if I'm by myself, I only have to worry about myself. I don't have to worry about somebody else's well-being. I don't have to worry about the safety of the place. I don't have to worry about anything affecting somebody else. I don't want anyone to get hurt. I don't want anyone to have anything bad happen to them. So when I am investigating with someone, always in the back of my head is protect this person. Do what you have to for this person. When I'm by myself, I can be a little more reckless, a little more daring, because I don't have to worry about another person. Now, that's not to say that I don't like having other people out with me. I do, because other people bring a different energy. And I think as an investigator, it's very important to have different energies out into the same location to see if it makes a difference. My phone just locked me out here. But I don't know. I enjoy having other people come out, but it is different in how I have to approach it. I also enjoy doing investigations by myself just because I can do things that I wouldn't do if somebody else was with me. And what is your experience with doing them solo and with someone? So again, with people you get different energies, you can get different experiences, different interactions. Spirits may be more responsive to someone else's energy than mine, or they may like the fact that I'm alone. It all just comes into play. That's why I like to revisit the same location over and over as well. When you bring different energies and get different experiences, it all adds up to more evidence, more things that you can use to tell the story of what has happened in a place. Now, whether that's good, bad, whether we get nothing, we get lots, all kinds of things happen. And part of investigating is getting nothing. Despite what TV and some other things would have you believe, quite often doing this, you just go out and you get nothing. And that's okay, because nothing is a result too. Anyway, I'm rambling on Jessica's question, so let's move on to the next one. So we're going to get personal here. So this is from that Iron Frost Santa Fe XL guy. Have you attempted to connect with anyone that has passed away in your family? The short answer to that is no, I have not. Now, the number of people that I would want to talk to that have passed away in my family is probably pretty small, to be honest. I have a rocky relationship with a lot of my family. Let's just leave it at that. If it was possible to talk to my grandparents, I think I would like to. I'd like to get better at communicating before I actually attempt to communicate with them. But I think if I was going to communicate with any family member, it would be my grandparents. And that's just because I miss them and they taught me a lot. And they really helped mold me into the person that I have become with their ideals. And I don't know, it'd be nice to let them know where I am right now. But that's that. And before we get emotional, let's move on here. This is from Christina _ from the Divine. And the question is, what's your craziest, most shocking, or scariest spirit encounter? I think I covered that with the ball already. In terms of, investigating, hearing knocks when I ask for knocks is pretty crazy. Getting that voice at Steve's place saying hello, that to this day I still can't explain when I was there with Laura. Watching orbs fly away from Laura on screen live when she said she felt like she was being touched. Really weird. So those are just a couple of the craziest, most shocking. Again, I wouldn't say, to me anyway, any of it is overly scary. Okay. This one's from Sandra. Sandra messaged me today asking when this video was coming out. So, Sandra, your question. Brian, when it's your time, will you come back /visit if possible? And who would be your go-to spot or person? That's tough. That's really tough. I think I would come back, only because I don't think I'll be done everything that I want to do when my time comes. There's a lot of things that I would really like to do, probably more than you can accomplish in a lifetime. So I would think that if we do get to hang around, I'll probably do that. I don't know. Depends what the alternatives are too. That's another discussion altogether, depending on if you're religious at all or what you feel there. Who would be your spot or person? Where would be your spot or who would be your person? I'd want to stick around and annoy my kids some more. I'd have to do that, because that's a parent's job, right? Stick around and annoy your kid a little bit. Definitely that. Or my ultimate plan, when I pass anyway, is to be turned into a tree. So just plant me somewhere pretty. That's it. And I'll hang out there because I like being in nature. So plant me somewhere pretty and I'll be content. That's about the gist of that one. From Mike Dancy. Mike, who I am forever trying to collaborate with, and we can never get our schedules to match up. Have you ever considered running a live video from a known haunted location? Short answer, yes I have. Long answer, my schedule hasn't allowed for it yet. I need to invest in some form of power banks just so that I can run all the equipment needed to do a live in a location where there's often no power. But I would love to do lives, even if just using my phone eventually. They will happen. But live is a definite, with commentary from people watching while it's happening. I would love to do a live investigation. I think there's a lot of value in doing it live. Number one, showing how little evidence we can actually get sometimes. But number two, if something does happen, we can all experience it together. And I think that would be fantastic. Okay. This one was sent to me anonymously. There's a lot here to unpack. So, I'm going to read the whole thing first, and then we'll discuss it bit by bit. How about that? So, would you rather know the date of your death or how you will die? Do you think prior knowledge of your death will cause your spirit harm in the afterlife? If you can become a ghost, do we ever really die? Why do people feel different things / sensations when they are touched by ghosts? Who will you haunt when you die? And do you think aliens and ghosts are connected in any way? That's a lot. Entered anonymously. Let's go through that and discuss it bit by bit. So first off, would you rather know the date of your death or how you will die? I think date. Date would definitely give me an endpoint so that I know how long I've got to get things done. But yeah, I think I'd rather know the date. I think if I knew how I was going to die, I might avoid doing some things that could be fantastic experiences. So I think date is the way to go with that one. And some of you may disagree. I'm sure some of you will disagree. And some of you might agree. That's a very personal, could go either way kind of question. Do you think prior knowledge of your death will cause your spirit harm in the afterlife? I don't think so. Just because if you believe in spirits and reincarnation, you know eventually you're going to die anyway. So how a little bit of extra knowledge could cause your spirit harm? I don't know. I don't think so. If you can become a ghost, do we ever really die? This goes back to if you believe we are more than just physical beings and there is energy, does energy ever really cease to exist, or does it just transform? It all depends on what you believe, what your metaphysical beliefs are. But energy just transforms. If we are energy, we just transform. So in essence, our spirit, whatever form it takes, is never really gone. Or we're all wrong and this is it. There's nothing after this. That's it. And we could all be wrong. I'd like to think there's more. I make my YouTube videos hoping there's more and trying to experience some of that more. But I also readily acknowledge that it's entirely possible that there may not be anything. And once this physical body is gone, that's it. I won't know till I get there. I'm not willing to go there to find out just yet. Why do people feel different things or sensations when they are touched by ghosts? Again, I think it has to do with the different spirits, the different energies that you give off versus somebody else. A different spirit will have different energies. It all comes down to that. Just the same as when you touch somebody, give them a hug, somebody will feel something slightly different emotionally than somebody else. I think it's the same kind of thing. That's it. And who will you haunt when you die? My kid. Just to drive my kid nuts. Do you think aliens and ghosts are connected in any way? This is an interesting one because there was a thought process that ghosts could be interdimensional beings that we are communicating with and not actually spirits of past people. Aliens could also be interdimensional beings. There could be a connection there. We don't know enough to say for sure. My thought process is that aliens and ghosts are different. One being spirits of people who have passed, one being beings from another place who also have their own spirits. That's my thought process. Again, I could be wrong. I'm willing to accept that I could be wrong there. And if you can correct me, please do. That's all of that. From Elijah LeBrier, 2349, who is a very frequent commenter, and I have conversations with him in my comments quite regularly. Brian, have you ever considered stop doing ghost hunting videos? No. I'm enjoying the process. The fact that I've gained 2,000 subscribers so far is a bonus, but I enjoy doing what I'm doing, so I'm not going to stop. It's fun. I enjoy making the videos. I enjoy doing the investigations. I enjoy trying to figure things out. I explore abandoned locations anyway, so that's all there. And yeah, I just thoroughly enjoy it. Do you think deaf people, this is from Stephen, do you think deaf people are able to feel or see or hear them in their mind? I think I need to find a deaf person to ask that question to. I don't know. That's I know in doing a video with Asha, she is visually impaired, so she experiences things very, very different than I would. It was very interesting to get some of her perspective. I think it would be very interesting to do an investigation with a deaf person and see what they happen to feel when you take away a sense from them. But yeah, doing a video with Asha gave me a totally different perspective on people who are lacking in one sense, what they gain in other senses. It's actually pretty cool what they gain. Now, it's not cool that they've lost the one sense if they didn't want to, but cool that they gain these extra, almost supernatural abilities with their other senses in the absence of a sense. If that makes sense. And I think that's everything. I know. Let me just find the post on YouTube here, because I know Woogie Man had also asked a question, I believe, about photography. I could be totally wrong here, but I want to, if he did ask one, I want to make sure I answer it, because if you didn't know, I do photography as well, and you can follow me on Instagram and check that out. Q&A video. Oh, he didn't ask a question about photography. He just inquired whether I would answer questions about photography. And if there is questions about photography, please feel free to drop them in comments on this video, and I will answer them directly in the comments as well. That's that. I think that covers all the questions. Super simple video. I hope I answered your question satisfactorily. I hope I covered everything. If I missed your question, please let me know below, and I will answer in a future video or a short, just to make sure that everyone gets the answers that they were hoping for. If you think you need more of an explanation on your question, please feel free to let me know that as well. I just want to make sure that you are all happy with the answers. You invest time into watching my videos, so I want to make sure I've invested the right amount of time to answering your questions. I still try, and as far as I know, I've been successful in replying to each and every comment that any of you make. It's very, very important to me. If you spend the time to watch my videos and leave a comment, the least I can do is take the time to reply to that comment. Eventually, it may get to a stage where I can't anymore because there's too many, but we're still a long way away from that. So I will spend a lot of time chatting in the comments. Hoping to do live premieres soon, where I will be online chatting with the premiere. More investigations coming, more collaborations coming. I just joined a new group locally on Facebook for paranormal investigators. So hopefully I can get some collaborations happening with people there. But for now, if you like these videos, if you like this content, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you know these videos are going live Sunday night, 8 o'clock. As always, let's find something.